Safety never felt so good as your very own affordable walk-in bathtub. The Central Valley's exclusive walk-in tub dealer. An affordable walk-in bathtub allows you to enjoy bathing again without the fear of falling. Tubs come in many sizes and all can be customized to meet specific needs. Boca tubs offer the lowest step-in possible. Ella features luxury and design excellence, and independent home tubs are low noise.
Having an affordable walk-in tub has improved the ability for me to move around easier during the day, and getting in my tub at least twice a week has done wonders with my muscles.
Right now, financing is available that can make your payment as low as $150 a month. Call for details or go online, affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Take your first step towards safety, security, and feeling better with an affordable walk-in bathtub.
I would highly recommend affordable walk-in tubs for anyone who's looking to get the quality of their life back.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Friday morning. Glad you are here to join us on this program. Connect with me on MeTV Fresno, 436 MeTV option 11. Today we're talking about anger management. That's right. Welcome to call in. Hey, our sponsor on the program today during the course of this next hour will be walk-in affordable bathtubs. Back in a moment. Okay, back here on the program, we are live, of course, on Connect with Me, 10 to 11 o'clock every Monday through Friday. Hey, a couple of programming notes. Monday, a very special program here. It'll be his first appearance on this program. It'll be on the air, off the presses. And then Gymnastics Beat will be here on Tuesday. That is a business that's located out in Northwest Fresno, been around for about, 10, 15 years. And you know what? They're being blown out by high-speed rail. They're still going to be here. They'll talk about that, but they'll also talk about their business, and Sam Shima will be here to talk about some of the programs. He hasn't been on in quite some time, more than a year, so we'll talk to Sam about that. And then more political shows, politics on the minds of most of these days. Clint Olivier will be here next week to talk about his run for office. Before we get started, let's talk about Comcast, Channel 375, and Xfinity. If you don't have Comcast cable to watch this program Monday through Friday, live 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, it's not a problem. 43.6 and 13.1 as usual, live. And then later in the day, if you can only catch a portion of this live program, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it replays at 13.6 YouTube, 8 o'clock tonight, 4.6 Biz TV. And then later on YouTube, hey, my friends, it's 24/7 if you want to scan and look at some of the programs we've done over the course of the last 4 years. Before we get started with the main program here, I do want to talk about Fresno State basketball. And last night, they played in the first round of the Midwest Regional. It was the opener in Denver. They played against Utah. They lost it 80-69. Fresno had a 9-game winning streak entering that NCAA basketball tournament, of which they played for the first time since 2001. Even though they were down late in the game by 15 points, at some point with about 10 minutes, 23 seconds left in the game, they actually took a 1-point lead, and then they lost. Let's get the latest in this report from the Associated Press on Fresno State basketball.
Midwest Region Pac-12 Player of the Year Jakob Poeltl and 3rd seed Utah facing 14 Fresno State. Game played in Denver. Poeltl drives Utah out to a quick 12-3 lead. The 7-footer can dish as well. Kyle Kuzma finishes with the jam, and Utah up 11. Fresno State at the other end showcasing its hops. Karachi Edo, 2 of his 14, but the Utes kept up the pace. Lorenzo Bonham finds Brandon Taylor. He finished with 16. 33-22 Utes at the break, second half. Marvell Harris comes up with the steal, takes it the distance and the foul. Bulldogs within 6. Harris finished with a game-high 24. But Fresno State had no answer for Pirtle. He was dominating the inside. However, the Bulldogs did hang tough. Julian Lewis, from the top of the key, straight away, knocks it down, caps a 15-3 run. Fresno State grabs a 1-point lead, but short-lived. Utah, too much firepower. Bonham converts the tough jumper in the paint. Utes regain the lead, and then Pirtle goes to work with the dish to Bonham. Utes by 7. Pirtle gives it up to Jordan Loveridge, buries the 3 ball, and then Pirtle, a man on a mission in the paint. Finished with 16 points, 18 rebounds. Utah victorious to advance 80-69.
Interesting game last night, and Fresno State, as I said, took the lead with just about 10 minutes left in the game. They fell to Utah 80-69. Fresno State ends the year 25-10. That's the overall record. They walk away with the Mountain West Conference title, and Marvell Harris, who is the all-time leading scorer in school history, had 24 points in that losing effort last night in Denver, first round of the NCAA basketball tournament for Fresno State. Anyway, congratulations to the Bulldogs on an outstanding season, making the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2001. Well, to our main topic today, and if you look up the word anger in the dictionary, you're going to find the definition describes it as a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. Now, the synonyms are rage, vexation, exasperation. Have you heard all these words before? Irritation. Something irritating you this morning? Something irritated me when I came in. Anger is a natural, though sometimes unwanted or irrational emotion that everybody experiences from time to time, but it is a problem when it is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. Remember the movie, Anger Management, Jack Nicholson, Matthew Perry, the breakfast scene. Oh, it's great.
When you're smiling, an old man smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're laughing. When the sun comes shining through. When you're crying, you bring on the rain. Stop your sighing. Won't you be happy again? When you're smiling, keep on smiling.
Oh, shit! I said over easy! Now, why did I do that?
Because I refused to spoon with you last night?
The angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes. Alphabets, no matter how old I get, always a culinary delight.
No explanation for the egg throwing. He's a psycho, okay?
Don't sulk, Dave. Eat, sit down. We'll be off to work in a jiffy.
We'll be off to work. Now, by we'll, I assume you mean just me, right?
Well, I have to join you at work. Full contact.
Think that's gonna make me look a little nuts, buddy. Bringing a shrink to work, you whipping eggs at people? I don't know.
You must never be ashamed that you sought help for yourself, Dave. It's not a weakness.
I mean, I gotta be there by 9 o'clock. I don't think we're gonna make it on time. You're not even dressed, buddy.
The Talmud says, wherever you look, there's something to be seen. Look, Dave.
Obviously, that wasn't Matthew Perry. It was Adam Sandler. And this is Peter Nazaretian live in our studio. Of course, he is our resident family therapist. And he's going to be here to talk about anger management and much more. We might even talk about the movie. Ever smashed a plate like that? Man, I think the Greeks do that. They smash plates. That's right, they smash plates. That's what the Greeks do. Anyway, I've seen it happen myself. 436-ME-TV option 11. Affordable walk-in bathtubs is our sponsor today on the program. And don't smash any plates. Back in a moment.
Safety never felt so good as your very own affordable walk-in bathtub. The Central Valley's exclusive walk-in tub dealer. An affordable walk-in bathtub allows you to enjoy bathing again without the fear of falling. Tubs come in many sizes and all can be customized to meet specific needs. Boca tubs offer the lowest step-in possible. Ella features luxury and design excellence, and independent home tubs are low noise.
Having an affordable walk-in tub has improved the ability for me to move around easier during the day, and getting in my tub at least twice a week has done wonders with my muscles.
Right now, financing is available that can make your payment as low as $150 a month. Call for details or go online, affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Take your first step towards safety, security, and feeling better with an affordable walk-in bathtub.
I would highly recommend affordable walk-in tubs for anyone who's looking to get the quality of their life back.
Back here on the program, Peter Nazaretian here. Good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you. So should Fresno State be angry this morning because they lost?
I think they should be pretty happy they got there at all.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Kind
Good
of a
job.
downer, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
a little bit of a
disappointing.
downer.
Disappointing.
Yeah. But should they be angry? No? No.
I don't know. That would be an appropriate emotion.
Not after the season that they had. It was pretty good. Actually, they did quite well. So, anger management. Geez, we have a lot to get to here today. I described anger, took it out of the dictionary, as a matter of fact. Pretty right on.
Yeah. In fact, that's an interesting concept, is how many words we have for anger, and the more words we know, the more we can express ourselves in interpersonal communications. If you only know one word for anger, like I'm just, I'm irritated. Well, you irritate me. That irritates me. That's irritating. Well, what is irritating? To you, irritating might be mild annoyance. To me, it might be I'm ready to hit you in the head with a brick. So knowing more words for anger gives us a better way to express ourselves.
Okay, so what can anger lead to? Violence?
Sure. Violence, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, fractured relationships, and once your relationship's in trouble, of course, then your self-esteem takes a hit. You can't set very good boundaries, communication. I mean, it's a slippery slope. There are a lot of graphics that we want to show here that describes anger. But the first question I have is, a serial killer, is he killing people because he's angry? Doesn't even have to be a serial killer. Is anybody who kills, let's take Charles Manson, for example. Was he an angry man? Not overtly, no. I mean, that's an interesting example because he directed other people to do it. For his, it was much more about control. Well, can I get 3 people to go in that house and kill somebody? Wow. That's not anger. That's manipulation and control.
But why are they doing it? That it could be anger.
Possibly, but I don't know that those people didn't even know they're victims. They were just doing his bidding. So I don't know that anger is applicable to that particular scenario.
So anger doesn't always enter into a violent crime. Yeah, it's like the Unabomber.
No.
Unabomber comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, normally, yes. Normally, we get irritated about something and we express it in a violent way. But is everybody who expresses violence angry? Not necessarily. There's other triggers.
Really? So some people killed not because of anger, but because of some other type of emotion?
Sure. Now, underlying, pull back 3 or 4 layers. Is there something in their childhood? Did something happen to them that ultimately makes them angry and this comes out of it? Yeah, very possibly. Are they overtly angry people? Not necessarily.
Okay. I want to start with a couple of graphics here. And one of them is the dynamics of anger. We have 2 separate graphics of that. And I'm assuming this is going to come up right now. So here's what we got on the screen here. We become more angry when we are stressed and body resources are down. What does that mean?
Resistance. You know, people often, when you take flights, for example, you want to take a little bit of something that boosts your resistance. Because once we get angry, frustrated, irritated, resistance goes down and we get sick.
Okay.
So anger depletes our energy and we can get sick.
We are rarely ever angry for the reasons that we think. Again, explain that one.
Yeah. Stuffed anger. This makes me irritated on a regular basis, and I don't say anything, I don't say anything, I don't say anything. Then finally, I explode about something else, and it turns out this is what irritates me, but I couldn't say that. So I say this instead.
All right,
displacement.
All right, talking about anger issues when you were a kid, didn't get what you wanted when you were a kid. Can we, I mean, really, realistically, can we trace it back to that, all the way back that many years?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've often made the premise that we are who we are for things that happen to us between the ages of 5 and 10. And there's a reason for that, because we don't get cognitive process until 5, we don't get complex concepts till 12, which makes that 5 to 10, roughly kindergarten, 6th grade, extremely vulnerable. Everything gets in under the radar. So an abusive father, absent mother, siblings who are preferred.
Hang on, caller.
Siblings who are preferred, all these become underlying anger issues. What do they lead to? Low self-esteem, poor communication skills, can't set boundaries, don't like myself very much. These are all anger pieces.
All right. Hang on, caller. We often become angry when we see a trait in others that we can't stand in ourselves. So others have a trait that we have, but we can't stand it?
It's called projection, John. It's very hard for us to look at our own issues, and so we literally project it onto somebody else. Oh, look what you do. See, you're like that. We find ourselves criticizing somebody else. Oftentimes, if we take a moment and say, wait, do I do that? If we're open-minded, we'll find that most of the time we do.
Yeah. Okay. Caller, you're there? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I got a new name for this particular show. We'll call it the Word Masturbation Show.
Okay.
All right. Not sure what he means by that, but thank you, caller, for that. Very interesting first call, isn't it, Peter?
Talk about projecting your own thing. I don't know what's going on there, but
holy cow. Wow.
Enjoy.
Man. Someone's in a good mood today, right? It's Friday.
Starting the day off with a fill in the blank.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we have, I'm losing my train of thought here. Dynamics of anger, number 2. Let's put that up on the screen. And so look at the first one here. Underneath many current anger issues are old disappointments, traumas, and triggers. I was reading over this one last night, okay? And that first one up there, the one I just read, you can take that in 2 or 3 different ways. How do you mean it?
Well, it goes back to what we talked a moment ago about childhood, things that go on in our childhood. And these are the kinds of things that go on in our lives. For example, how many times, this is exactly about anger, but to tell you the influence of that period of time, how many times do you have to tell a child they're stupid before they believe it? The answer is once. So things happen in our childhood, and very often, if we have a parent who tends to be diminishing like that, they do it on a regular basis.
Well, here's what came to mind when I first read this last night, that first one up on top. It's like something has been simmering or is simmering, has been for a long time, and then when you look at the word triggers up there, all it takes is for something to happen or someone to say something that's going to trigger that thing to come out of you.
Right.
Am I right about that?
Let's give an example. You have an older brother who is an extremely gifted athlete, very outgoing and valedictorian.
Okay.
And the little brother does the best they can. They want very much to be these things, but there's no way they're that good.
Right.
And they keep getting, why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you run the football like your brother? Why can't you get A's like your brother? Years and years of that. And they just put up with it, and they don't know what those dynamics are necessarily, but here's somebody else getting strokes. Then they go to the office, and there's somebody at the office who gets all the strokes. And this is 20 years later. It's going to bring up that same dynamic. Here's somebody else. I work my butt off, and this person's getting all the strokes. And that can come out.
Yeah, we've already kind of touched on, sometimes we get angry because we were hurt as a child. We talked about that. We get angry when a current event brings up an old, unsolved problem from the past. Like what?
There's an old adage that says we marry our parents. Suppose you had an abusive, overbearing, alcoholic father. What are the chances that a young woman 20 years later, 25 years, is going to marry that same guy? Not the father, of course, but somebody with those same traits. It's the old stuff coming up over and over and over again, can continue to bite us.
And the last one on the screen, by the way, 436-ME-TV, option 11, an open line if you want to call in. We often feel strong emotion when a situation has a similar content, words, energy that we have felt before. So again, tracing it back to childhood.
How many times in an argument does somebody say a buzzword and you never close the door? Oh, I never closed the door. I never closed the door. And all of a sudden it becomes about the word never. It's not about you're thoughtless and the bugs get in. Now we're on to a word. So we fasten on a word. If that's what we heard as a kid, that can be a trigger later.
By the way, the other thing I was thinking about when I was doing this show last night, I was thinking about people who are angry and have these anger issues. does it lead to drugs and alcohol? Because the last show we did was about alcoholism, I believe.
Yeah.
Can it lead to that?
Absolutely. People who have drug problems oftentimes have stuffed anger issues. One of the reasons they may be using drugs and alcohol is to sort of keep that at bay. They don't want to be irritated all the time. If they have enough drugs and alcohol on board, they tend to mellow out. So they can be a tremendous connection there, yes.
Yeah. Got to take a break. Affordable walk-in bathtubs are sponsored today here on the program. 436-MeTV option 11. And we're talking about anger management, and showed that movie in the beginning with Adam Sandler, of course, and Jack Nicholson smashing all the plates. And you know, if we were in Greece right now, that'd be a common thing. They wouldn't even think about anger management. That's just part of everyday life in Greece. You get mad, you smash a plate. 436-MeTV option 11. Back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
The following is another list of things you will not hear on MeTV programs. Man cave, baby bump, whatevs, double half-calf mochaccino, faux hog, redonkulous, totes adorbs, hella, holla, YOLO, cray-cray, and MeTV is still Kardashian-free. This is what you will hear on MeTV programs.
Welcome, Benno. The Twilight Zone. About bulls.
I object, Your Honor.
Mr. Grant.
I hear you right.
You heard me right.
MeTV. Thanks for listening.
Back here on the program talking about anger management. Another one I want to put up on the screen here, and a lot more to talk about, is, you know, okay, let's put up the first one that, you know, we have several different ones here. I want to talk about managing your anger. And we have, what, 5 of these? 5 different ones. Okay. Yeah, let's put up number 1, acknowledging, number 1. Okay, we manage anger when we learn to diffuse it before it becomes destructive. Acknowledge that you have a problem. Well, if you're angry, here's you know, listen, you know, when Ara sent me these last night, I was looking over these. Acknowledge your problem. If you're angry, you're not going to acknowledge anything. I was thinking about this last night. This makes no sense. I don't mean to.
No, that's fine. These are issues that we can look at. Can you stop for a second? You know, the old thing of count to 10. You've heard this when you were a kid. You know, when you get angry, count to 10 before you say anything. It's taking that moment to say, wait, do I need to be angry here? Now, again, are we talking about reasonable people who can catch themselves and do it? Yes. There are some people who anger. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Yeah, but you're looking to pick a fight when you say that.
And that's anger. I'm wanting some reaction here, and those are people who aren't going to stop and acknowledge that they're angry because they don't want to own it.
Yeah, but I still don't understand how you acknowledge something when you're angry. Don't you acknowledge it after things have simmered down?
The point is to catch it before it starts. If the first line, you read the first line, it's about catching it beforehand.
Right.
So finally, I'm getting irritated. You know what? I'm getting a little irritated here. Why don't I take a break for 5 minutes so I don't get angry? It's catching it ahead of time.
Okay.
Not everybody can do that.
All right. We're going to go to the next one here on managing your anger. Keep a hostility log, and we'll put that one up on the screen next. This is all part of managing your anger. That's number 2. So keep a log on what?
Yeah. I have actually a copy of that log here. I don't know if we can show it real quick on the... I'll hold it up.
Just hold it up there on camera 2 there.
This is, can't get it that close, but it's a hostility log. Basically, it's a piece of paper that says what made you angry. There's the days of the week. What made you angry? So you put the name down. How did you respond? Did you get angry? Did you throw something? Did you go take 10 minutes off? And then, was this justified? Was it okay that I get angry at this person about this thing? You make these notes, and the reason
right there in that camera there, Peter.
You.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason they're keeping this log.
Actually, it's that one right there.
Okay, I'll hold it up here. Take a look at it. The reason for keeping this is because that you want to be able to say, is this something I can do in the future? If I catch myself, if I can do a better job at it, you know, can I catch it ahead of time? Also, to see that, wow, I got angry on a regular basis. I'm going to put this down now. Statistics tell us we get angry 17 times a day, more often and easily than every other emotion.
Everybody
put together, generally speaking. Okay, more often and easily than every other emotion put together, and yet it is our least appropriate emotion. For example, I can scarcely think of a situation whereby adding anger to it, you make it better. If you can think, I think if somebody's hurting your children, that's legitimate. But other than that, what situation can you be in where adding anger makes it better? And the answer is virtually none, and yet we use it constantly.
All right. Does it help to get a punching bag in the garage?
It's a very interesting premise. I'm gonna take a moment here and talk about this. I worked in a psychiatric hospital for many, many years, and we used to have a thing called the quiet room. And that was when, of course, when somebody was out of control, you put him in there. But if somebody's having anger issues, we'd take him into the quiet room, take the sheets off the bed. There was a plastic cutting. We would take a bath towel, wet it, wring it out, give him one end of it, and say, now whip the mattress. Take out your aggressions, whether your husband, your wife, your boss, whatever, just whip them out. And they would send there and they'd whap that thing. And if you ever swung a bath towel that's soaking wet, it's after about 10 minutes, you're beat. And they'd slide against the wall and go, and we'd think, oh, good, they got it out. They worked it out. What we found out years later was they were practicing how to be angry. Punching a punching bag with your boss's face on it simply gets you good at being angry at your boss. It doesn't diffuse it, it heightens it. Now,
so that dispels all the notions that I've ever heard.
Thank you. Now,
in previous years, so running, it makes it worse, not better.
Yeah. Well, you get that person in mind. I'm hitting that punching bag. This is a guy's face. I'm hitting it. You're just getting good at being angry at that person. Literally, here's the face, and I want to hit it. You get, unless you're an idiot, you get good at what you do a lot of.
So we got some laughter going on in here, but so not a good idea to get your boss's face and start punching on a punching bag.
Unless you want to get really good at it.
All right, let's put up managing your anger number 3. It's use your support network. And so this one is let the important people in your life know about changes that you're trying to make. They can motivate and support you if you have lapses in your behavior.
Now, this is a nice piece. However, it's kind of predicated on the idea that you're legitimately in charge of your anger and you want the people around you to help you with it. So you tell somebody, you know, I tend to get irritated when this happens, so do me a favor and, you know, if that happens, try not to do that too much. We're assuming everybody is cogent, everybody is focused, everybody's intelligent. And unfortunately, people with anger problems oftentimes don't have that kind of support group. So it's a great idea, but not everybody has it.
Okay, yeah, that's true. A lot of people live alone and they're angry. And all right, caller, are you angry this morning? That's the first question.
Never.
Okay, all right.
I'm one of those guys that it doesn't take me long to be happy. But I would like to ask Peter.
Yes.
What do you do with people that come from the service and they have this anger management problem? A lot of them have this, they've gone through service and they've seen things, but they take it on basically by themselves, keeping everything in. How can you help them to get over that anger? You know, sometimes they're taking it on their spouses or the kids or whatever. And sometimes they leave that home because of that problem. So how can you approach someone that you know that you want to help, but at the same time you don't want to interfere? That's my question to you.
It's a good one because it opens up a lot of different avenues. You know, what do you do with anger? How do you express anger? What do you do with the people around you having anger? You mentioned stuffing it. I saw an interesting program a few years ago. I think it was one of those 2020 Dateline kind of shows about anger, and I looked at it with a great deal of enthusiasm because, of course, this is something I deal with a great deal. And they were looking at it, should you express anger, which gets it out and doesn't get you toxic and, you know, you offload it, so to speak, or should you stuff it because nobody wants to see an angry person and nobody wants to be around irritated people, so you better hang on to it. And they were going back and forth, and I thought, what about the third option? The third option is don't have it. The third option is decide, where does the anger come from? Because I decide to get angry. It doesn't come from...
Doesn't everybody get it? Aren't you abnormal if you never get angry?
Do you think everybody should be angry on a regular basis?
No, not on a regular basis, but just like the dictionary said, on occasion everybody gets...
Yeah, but irritated is not the same as raging.
Okay.
Frustrated is not the same as violent.
Right.
So a degree of anger to express a certain condition, sure, that's logical. But to take it to the point where it becomes manipulative, and that's what anger is, John. It's all about manipulation. I don't like something...
Yeah. Is it about control?
I don't like what you're doing. You better stop that right now or I'm going to get angry. I want you to stop doing something so I can feel better.
Yeah. Another call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, John. Good morning, Dr. Peter.
Good morning.
I have a couple questions. Okay, first question, is anger a good thing at times? That's the first one. And when people do get angry a lot, do you recommend any sort of vitamin, or do you recommend prescription to your patients?
Another pill.
I'm sorry, say that.
No, I was just saying, it's like, this society, at least in this generation, people have an ailment of any kind, they pop a pill. So I just said,
Yeah.
I just made kind of a snide comment, another pill.
I take vitamin B. I'll tell you why I say that. I take vitamin B for stress. It
Yeah.
does work.
Does it work for
I'm
you,
not-
really?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like instead of throwing a shovel, I get frustrated or really kind of lose something lacking in my body, get kind of stressed out, start throwing things or wanting to. But I'll say vitamin B has worked with me to overcome it, and that's a testimony. There may not be many like myself, but that's it. And I take vitamins. That helps.
Yeah.
So,
interesting. I got to
that's
keep
about
that
it.
in mind, though. Vitamin B. That's very interesting. Okay.
B.
Okay.
For stress, it's mainly that's what they suggest.
Okay.
I don't know if Dr. Peter wants to comment on that. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for calling in. That's great and insightful comment. Does everybody get angry? Yeah, I think.
No, I think his question was, is it good for you at times?
Yeah, does everybody get
Is that
angry,
right?
and does it work for you? If you can appropriately offload the irritated feelings, of course, that is good. You want to do that. Most people, unfortunately, don't use anger appropriately. They use it as a manipulation device, not as a relief. If you can, I'm a little irritated.
So you're saying most people do that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And can you take a pill for it? I'm glad vitamin B is effective. That's very good. That's a stress reliever. Part of anger, of course, is stress. I'm irritated and upset and trying to get things. So, okay, calming down is a good thing. Of course, most people these days, you talk about pills. Let me take a Xanax. Let me take something in the mouth so I can not be irritated.
Valium.
Yeah. Good news is it does kind of, I feel better. That's good. But does the anger go away? No, it simply is suppressed.
So what does a Valium do for you?
Calms you down.
But it suppresses the anger, right?
Yeah, it suppresses
so it doesn't make it go away.
Suppresses the reaction. Well, that's the whole point. No, it doesn't. It doesn't address what the anger issue is. It simply means I won't have the reaction. Which, of course, that's good. If the people around you don't want you to be irritated, so you take medication and so you're always mellow, that's nice. But it doesn't mean you aren't seething inside. It just means it's not being allowed to come out. At some point, like a pressure cooker, does it pop? Sure.
All right. Do we have to take a break? Yeah, we do. All right. Affordable walk-in bathtubs is our sponsor today here on the program. By the way, did you have a good St. Patty's Day?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
great. You had fun?
I'm not Irish.
You put your green cap on?
I'm not Irish, but it was fun.
All right.
I had corned beef and cabbage.
All right. We're going to be back here with the leprechauns and all the rest the day after St. Patty's Day. 436 MeTV option 11. Back in a moment.
Safety never felt so good as your very own affordable walk-in bathtub. The Central Valley's exclusive walk-in tub dealer. An affordable walk-in bathtub allows you to enjoy bathing again without the fear of falling. Tubs come in many sizes and all can be customized to meet specific needs. Boca tubs offer the lowest step-in possible. Ella features luxury and design excellence, and independent home tubs are low noise.
Having an affordable walk-in tub has improved the ability for me to move around easier during the day, and getting in my tub at least twice a week has done wonders with my muscles.
Right now, financing is available that can make your payment as low as $150 a month. Call for details or go online, affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Take your first step towards safety, security, and feeling better with an affordable walk-in bathtub.
I would highly recommend affordable walk-in tubs for anyone who's looking to get the quality of their life back.
All right, a question from our crew here is, how do you deal with somebody who has anger issues?
It's a good question, because if that person, first let's look at it from the angry person's issue. Why do they have anger? Do they have it because they simply can't control their emotions? So anger might be one of the emotions they can't control, or that might be the only one they express. As I mentioned a moment ago, we get angry 17 times a day, more often and easily than every other one put together. So people who don't have a range of emotions, which we all should, they may have one, basically. we're given, when we start out in life, we're given two tools, a hammer and a screwdriver. And the hammer is anger, smash it. And the screwdriver is give up, screw it. And you see little kids, for example, when little kids are upset about something, anger, or screw it. This is our two tools, a hammer and a screwdriver. And it's very hard to have a complete...
You did that very well.
It's very hard to have a complete life when those are the only two emotions that you have. So the trick, of course, is to put everything in proportion, not make anger, the overriding. But that's the one that comes with the package. Is later in life we add reasonable and listening and other facets that may offset that. Challenge, though.
Really, really interesting. I want to go back to managing your anger, number 4, and that would include interrupt the anger cycle. And we have like four of these. We have 3 of them or 4 of them? We have 3 of them. All right, put the first one up. There it is. Interrupt the anger cycle when you start to feel angry. Try the following techniques, and there they are. Yell, stop. Okay, I'm not going to yell here on the set, but you can read it for yourself, right? Okay, so what does that do? So you're yelling, stop. Who are you yelling at, yourself?
Yourself. Interrupt the, I'm not saying this is effective for everybody. Again, this is something I really want to control my anger, so I want some techniques. This is one of them. I start to get irritated, and I say to myself, stop, 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 stop. Okay, you know what? I'm getting out of control. I don't want to. Let's talk about this reasonably. You catch yourself. You interrupt the anger cycle. So it's not magical, it's the person catching themselves. If somebody has no self-control, if somebody's got drugs or alcohol issues, are they going to be able to effectively interrupt the cycle? Probably not. Okay. Because they're out of control.
Okay. So use physical relaxation techniques like deep breathing or centering. Now, I've heard that the Navy SEALs actually do this. They do deep breathing, like really deep breathing, before they go into a mission to try to relax themselves so they'll be totally calm. Does that really work, or is that just a myth?
No, if somebody says, oh, I'll just take a few deep breaths, oh, this isn't working. No, relaxation techniques with breathing techniques require specific, focused breathing techniques. It's not just take deep breaths. Or the centering thing, when you see some people, you just sort of grab this little imaginary thing in the air and go, I'm centering myself.
Right.
Well, there is some techniques that can do it, but you have to want to. Taking deep breaths itself isn't going to do much of anything. It'll give you more oxygen, but it's not just like going to relax you. If I
put air in your stomach.
And part of that breathing in and breathing out slowly is taking the time to say, I don't really want to be angry. It's interrupting the anger cycle. It's not that the deep breath itself it's doing, but taking the deep breath gives you a chance to get control.
All right. Count to 20 before you respond. I thought it was count to 10.
Yeah, these days, I guess I heard 10 too. But again, it's interrupting the cycle. If I can sit there and go, okay, 1, 2, 3, it gives me a chance to decide, do I want to explode?
All right. So the next one, let's change it. Manage your negative thoughts with imagery and positive thinking. Okay, I got a question. I saw this last night, and I have a question for you.
Go.
Okay. About 15 years ago, I went to an anger management class here in Fresno. It was voluntary. It wasn't court mandated. It was voluntary. I wanted to see what it was like.
Okay.
Okay? So you know what they told me? And this line reminded me of that. Okay, if you're in a situation, you visualize yourself taking yourself out of that situation, and you're up in the corner, like you put a corner camera up there, and you're looking down at the situation to see what's happening. And then you realize, what the heck is going on down there? Is that a way to manage it?
For some people, it probably works really well. If you're talking to somebody who has...
Trying to visualize what...
I can see myself moving up in the corner and looking down at it, and again, you're interrupting the cycle. I'm taking myself out of that moment, literally in this case, in my mind, and looking at it and saying, oh, do I want to be angry? This all requires you to have a certain amount of mental acuity. I have to realize I'm getting angry, I don't want to get angry, and here's one of the techniques. Unfortunately, for most people, when they're angry, it's just knee-jerk. So these are all good techniques. If you're having anger issues, you realize you're having them and you want to stop them. There's a certain amount of insight involved there.
So you imagine yourself doing what in that first line?
Standing, visualizing yourself. Wow, why do I need to get angry down there? I don't need to be upset about this. This isn't helping anything.
Close your office door. Find a quiet space. Mediate. Or meditate, I should say, not mediate, meditate for 5 minutes. I was going to ask you about that. What about meditation? What about yoga? I've heard yoga helps you calm down.
Yoga,
True or false?
Absolutely, absolutely. You're putting the focus in
Hang on, caller.
Of your body somewhere else. Instead of being angry, I'm going to focus on relaxing my muscles. I'm going to focus on being up in the corner of the room. I'm going to focus on taking some deep breaths. I'm going to do something besides be angry. Again, all of this is interrupting the anger cycle.
Okay, caller, go ahead. Keep that up on the screen just for a minute there. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, so I see you guys are talking about managing your anger. So what would be some other good ways to manage your anger, and what are also some bad ways to manage your anger? And I also have another question. How do you deal with people that are like mentally disabled or have like mental handicaps or whatever when they're angry? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let me take the last one first. When somebody is compromised by mental condition or even a physical condition, of course it's a different ballgame because they have this whole other thing feeding into it. A person with mental issues, for example, may not be able to have the insight to say, oh, I'm getting angry, I don't want to do that, let me take a moment here, go to my office and to do some deep breaths. They may not have that available to them because their resources aren't the same. So that's a very difficult one. Do it somewhere, with somebody else.
Okay. And the other question? What's a good way and a bad way to manage it?
As we talked about earlier, a good way would be to use some of these techniques we're talking about, deep breathing, realizing you're getting angry. My technique, I'll expand on this in a few minutes if you like, is don't have it. Recognize you're getting angry and simply decide not to. I know it sounds ridiculously simplistic, but that's one of the best ways. And a bad way to do it is by punching a bag, by drugs and alcohol, by using things that basically stuff or exacerbate.
All right. Caller, go ahead. You're on the line.
So what should you do if you have a supervisor or an owner of a business that you work for that acts that way? I'll be listening to your comment.
Thank you. That's one of the most frustrating situations, to be in a work condition where you don't have any idea why this person is angry at you, but they always seem to be irritated. And maybe not even at you. You're doing something and they just look grumpy or they look irritated. How long are you going to be doing that? Well, as long as it takes. And you always have this, and this is the interesting thing. When somebody gets angry like that, what do you feel? You feel anxiety. Having anger is putting anxiety in the air. When men use anger, women use tears. No offense, ladies, but women use tears. If they're crying profusely, most men come in and feel very uncomfortable. They want to fix your problem because they want you to stop crying. If you get angry, you mentioned throwing plates. When you throw plates against the wall, your wife says, I know you don't. The wife says, all right, stop throwing plates. All right, what do you want? What do you want? There's anxiety. When a woman cries or a man gets angry, there's anxiety in the air, and the people around you will fix the problem, not because it's their problem to fix, but because they don't like the way they feel. You make me anxious. All right, stop it. I'll fix your problem. Will you stop throwing plates if I fix it for you? Good. Now, I just got to fix your problem. Angry people are out of control, and they want other people to fix their problems. I don't want to do it. I just want to be angry as heck, and then you'll have to do something to make it better. It's manipulation.
All right, let's go back to this now. Distract yourself from your anger. Visit your favorite website. Play a song. Watch a ball game. Daydream. Go to your girlfriend's house. Go to your wife's house. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't listen to me. Take a walk. Get on the treadmill. Go exercise. Go to the gym. All these good ideas.
These are all good ideas. Again, we're talking about interrupting the anger cycle. All of these would be better than being angry. So if you can get yourself to run, and like we talked about earlier, don't hit a punching bag, but if you want to run or jog or do something like that, it's non-contact, then that's a good idea.
Okay. Another approach is to consider the facts of the situation so that you can talk yourself out of being angry. You've kind of already touched on
this. This is the closest one to simply don't have it. And I remember some years ago I was in a conversation with somebody. I was driving, and the conversation got a little bit irritated, and there was some anger going on. Not bad, and it was just going on. And I remember at the moment just saying to myself, I don't want to be angry.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be angry. And I stopped. I said, if you want to continue and be angry, that's fine. I'm not going to do it. And I wasn't stuffing it. I just didn't have it. It was amazing. Since then, it has not been a problem.
Okay. I want to get to the rest of these graphics. By the way, quickly, before we go to break, who gets angry the most? Would it be men or women?
Men.
Why?
Because they can. It's a man thing. Men are allowed to be angry. Women are not. Nobody wants to see an angry woman. Women are allowed to be scared. Men are not. Nobody wants to see a scared man. Now, this is all ridiculous.
Yeah, but
we all need a full range of emotions, but we do have these male-female emotions that we assign.
If you had your choice, would you rather face an angry man or an angry woman? There's nothing like a scorned woman. Have you ever heard that?
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not saying it's a province of men alone, but you said who's likely to use it more often? Men.
Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a manipulation device. Remember, it's manipulation. It's not about the anger. It's manipulation. When you're angry, you want something. And women find other ways to do it. Women tend to be more passive.
But who has the potential to be mad, to get madder and more angry, men or women?
Once you crank up to an anger level, I think it probably gets equal.
Yeah. Okay. 436 Meet TV option 11 here on the program. Today's sponsor is, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm thinking about this. Is affordable walk-in bathtubs. Back in a moment.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
Not sure what you're watching? Want to see what's coming up next? Or just want to browse what's on without the hassle of flipping channels? Your wish has come true. Now you can view schedules for all the digital TV channels available in the Central Valley. Get local weather updates and forecasts, and listen to nationally syndicated Biz Talk Radio, all on KBHF 4.1. Rescan your TV now, then tune in to Digital Channel 4.1 to start enjoying the all-new TV Guide.
Caller, you're on the line here. Obviously, you can tell we're not angry here today, but we're talking about anger issues. So, what's on your mind, sir? Or ma'am, or whatever?
Yeah, Dr. Peter, let me ask you a quick question. If you have a friend, and for 10 years that person or the couple, the wife has been nagging him for 10 years, I'm thinking to myself, how can I take that? And the anger is on her, not him. He's kind of the quiet one. But is it a good idea to get some management and going and seeing a counselor, or say, hey, I drop her? That's what I would say. But you know what I mean. So what do you think, Dr. Peter?
So your question is about nagging girlfriend, nagging wife. How do you deal with that?
Well, I don't know if that's an anger issue so much as a communication issue. Of course, that can lead to tremendous anger when you're irritated. But if you can't communicate, if a husband and wife, she's nagging him, why? Why does she nag him? And why does the nagging not work?
Control
or does
issue.
Yeah. It's all about manipulation and control. So anger simply becomes part of it. Again, we're adding anger to a mix. Does anger ever help? When you're being nagged, does getting angry ever help? I doubt it. Now, having said that, do some people operate with that dynamic? They just go back and forth, and for some people that works for them. Wouldn't work for me, but for some people they like it.
Use empathy. That's the last one on the managing anger issue. Let's put that up on the screen here because we're running out of time. Okay, use empathy. Another person is the source of your anger. Use empathy to see the situation from his or her perspective. I guess that's a good idea.
Well, again, you're interrupting the anger cycle, so instead of being angry, you're trying to think, why are they doing this? Why are they getting so irritated? What is it they need? And looking at it from that point of view can sometimes give you perspective.
All right, listen effectively. Can we put that one up on the screen? Because that kind of flows into that one. Listening effectively certainly can help. And I'm going to listen to what you're saying, Peter, as I take this call here. Hang on a moment, caller. Yes, Peter. I'm listening.
Got that seashell next to your head.
I know.
This is, yes, listening. Now we're veering over into communication again. If I'm really hearing what you're saying, instead of being irritated, I'm trying to figure out how can I make this better for you. If you're, of course, if it's a work situation, that's one thing. But if you're home with the wife or the girlfriend, as it were, or the boyfriend or the husband, I love you and I want this to work out. So raising me getting anger, then you getting angrier, then me getting angrier simply exacerbates the problem. Listen, what is the issue? What are you really trying to get across here?
All right. Quickly, caller, you're on the air, short on time.
Yes, good morning, John. Doctor, I have a question and a short comment. The question is do you consider anger a symptom of fear?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, I think there's a tremendous connection there. When we're fearful, sometimes, what is that old phrase? You would know this, you're a sports guy. The best defense is a good offense.
Yeah.
And so with that in this context, if there's something you're saying that I don't like, if I get angry at it, if I push it back, then I don't have to deal with it. So it becomes, again, communication. Why don't I like what you're saying? Why can I not do it? What is it going on here? Let me get angry and avoid it.
Yeah, and fear is the best laxative, by the way. Anyway, caller, next question. Go ahead.
TMI.
Well, my comment, sir, is that I've been a martial artist for many years, and I find that when I practice, I visualize my opponent, and if I visualize somebody I'm angry with and beat them up and use violence on them for a while, this calms me down and relieves a lot of my tension. So I tend to disagree with your comment about the punching bag.
Oh.
Other than that, I found this show fascinating, and thank you, gentlemen, and have a good morning.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, again, that for you, if visualizing hurting somebody and beating them up makes you feel better, first of all, that's interesting. But
Well, get a punching bag, that's all.
But you know, if that works in the moment, I kind of wonder, you know, in the moment, did that relieve you because, I had that satisfaction of watching him drop like a rock, and that may make you feel better. But are you essentially practicing how to be angry with people and visualizing that? Is that the kind of thoughts and feelings you want in your head? So if it works for you, I'm very happy. I'm kind of concerned about the long-term
All right,
effects.
another full screen. Be assertive. I want to get through all these because very interesting. Be assertive. Let's put that one up quickly here. Remember, the word is assertive, not aggressive. I found this interesting when I saw this last night too. When you're aggressive, you focus on winning. You can kind of read the rest for yourself. So describe kind of the difference between assertive and aggressive.
In the 70s, women really...
Hang on, caller.
...really had this, because women didn't want to be aggressive, but be assertive. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that, instead of saying, you're idiot. So you can take, being assertive is different than being aggressive, and that's sometimes a fine line. But yes, I'm standing up for myself is not the same as putting you down. There's a difference.
Oh, so put downs, that's a part of anger.
I'm pushing away as opposed to I'm standing up for myself. There's a difference.
All right. Caller, quickly, short on time.
You had all this anger and you had all these issues and stuff, and you obviously hurt a lot of people that you loved throughout your life.
Yeah.
How do you get back with these people if they believe in you again and they want to be in your life with you and you want to be in their life, especially when it comes to the kids?
Oh, that's another good question.
Nothing like a sincere apology, and frankly, even an apology doesn't mean much. There's typical, the drunk guy apologizes on Sunday morning after beating up his wife, I'll never do it again. Well, how much is that apology worth? So sometimes the apology helps. Sometimes, people have to give me some time.
Okay.
If you've been irritated, give me some time to understand that you're better. Be apologetic and be real.
Okay, so that works. All right.
It can.
All right. Another one, build trust. Build trust, and that kind of flows into what you just said there, that full screen, build trust. Let's put that up there real quick. So how do you build that trust after the drunk beat up his wife on Saturday night and Sunday morning, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. I'll never kick the dog again. So building the trust is a long-term thing?
Trust is almost an arithmetic formula, John. It's one of the few things we can actually put in those terms. Positive, consistent action plus time equals trust. If I say, I'm not going to be angry with you, I've changed my ways, I'm going to use some of these techniques we talked about, and now a day, a week, a month, a year goes by and I don't get angry, well, now I trust you. Because, it's positive, consistent action plus time. However, if I just talk about it and a week later I blow up again, oh, sorry, I just, now I'll do better. And a week later you blow up again, there's no consistency there, so I don't have trust.
Containing excessive anger, 1 through 3. All right, here it is. Learn to discriminate between big and little deals. Let's see, I can't see that without my glasses. In other words, don't sweat the small stuff. That's what that really says there.
Again, going back to the idea that anger is about manipulation, I want you to do something or not do something. It's all manipulation, and those are all little things. Why do you do that? Why can't you don't sweat it?
And also, don't expect everything to come your way because that's a sense of entitlement.
Yeah, and again, with anger, if I shout loud enough or punch a hole in the wall, you'll go, okay, whatever you want. I can pretty much get anything if I have that kind of relationship. Why you'd want that kind of relationship, I'm not sure, but people do.
Identifying irrational thoughts, another one, and also break into self-angering thoughts and use cool-down procedures.
These are all good techniques. Again, insight involved. If I understand I have an anger issue and I want to control it, that's a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, many people who are angry get out of control real quickly. So it's great if you can think about it.
When I read this last night, I found this one to be difficult. The one in the middle there. Address angry issues or your anger management directly with the person you are angry with, instead of displaying the anger on family members.
Yeah.
or displacing it, I
Yeah.
should say.
If I'm angry at something at work, being able, this is one of the most difficult things to do, is to be able to confront somebody who's angry with you and try to diffuse that, rather than say, I got chewed out at work, so I'm going to go home and scream at the wife's going to go and slap the kid, and the kid's going to go outside and kick the dog.
So don't take it out on someone else,
Right.
is what you're saying.
Deal with it. What is the issue? Find out how to appropriately deal with it.
All right, number 3. All right, here is keep cool when others are trying to push your buttons. Okay, we look at the other two, but that one kind of stands out more than the others.
Yeah. Everybody has an emotional bow and quiver of arrows, and they'll pull one of those arrows out and shoot it at you. And many people just stand right there, and somebody makes a comment, and they stand there and they take the comment, much like getting shot with an arrow. Well, once you've got the arrow stuck in you, now you got to deal with that. The trick is to say somebody's throwing an arrow at you, step out of the way and go, phew. Wow,
yeah.
You were trying to hit me with that? Wow, were you trying to insult me with that comment? Why? And not get hurt by the comment, but understand what the intention was. And again, that requires a little bit of intelligence, but just because somebody wants to be angry at you doesn't mean you have to get angry.
So take a time out, and if your wife is yelling at you, walk out, take a walk around the block, around the neighborhood, get some exercise.
Take a break.
That is good. Okay, how anger feels in your body. Let's put that one up before we got to go here. How anger feels in your body. A lot of them here. So pick out which one stands out the most for you. Breathing faster. Oh, my God.
Yeah, this is great. And by the way, great graphic, Ara. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Having knots in your stomach, clenching your hand. These are anybody who's been angry, kind of stamps their foot or wants to punch something or grinds or feels that bile coming up in their throat. There's a million ways of doing it. Everybody has a different reaction to it. The trick here is to know what yours is. When you're getting angry, what happens? Does your vision start to get narrow? Do you start to sweat? Do you start getting tense and
your heart starts racing?
Yeah, and I
like
want to
it
start
says
shouting.
there.
Yeah. When you catch yourself doing those things, that's when I say don't have it. It's catching yourself and saying, why am I doing this? What is this getting me? And it's all manipulation. You realize anger is a manipulation. You can stop it.
Tensing your shoulders. I do that quite a bit. But anyway, okay, here's how to relax. That's a great graphic, by the way. That was a tremendous job, Ara. I love that graphic. I love that face. Okay, here's how you can relax. You want to learn how to calm down? Take yoga, right? We talked about that a little bit before.
The line here, there's no real need to be upset. That's what we have to look at. Anger is a choice. Anger just doesn't happen. Well, somebody comes up and insults you, what are you supposed to do? You don't have to do anything.
Right.
This idea that I have to be angry is learned from childhood. You don't have to be angry.
All right. Regular exercise can help you relax in these situations, no matter what the exercise is.
Sure. Drain it off. The endorphins will start to do a little exercise. The endorphins kick in. It's nature's antidepressant. Makes you feel better.
Right. You will also feel more relaxed when you get enough sleep and eat a healthy diet. Common sense type stuff.
Sure. Balance.
Right. All right. Hey, quick question. Yep. Controversial one. I know we only have like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
A minute and a half. Can you answer this in 15 seconds? Can sex help you relieve anger?
Oh, heck yes. But it depends. If you're angry at the person, it's one of those things. Women have a very hard time engaging in sexual activity when they're angry. So a guy who says that, I'm at dinner time, we had a fight, but I want to get busy at 11 o'clock. She says no. He says, why? She says, because I'm still angry at you. She says, for what? For what you said at dinner. Well, I'm over that. Well, I'm not. So, yeah.
And that's when you get up and take a walk around the block. All right. See the humor in your anger. That's the last one, and then we got to go. Put that up real quick here. That's our last one. And a good one to end with.
Yeah.
All right. See a lot of laughter in what you are angry at and who you're angry with.
Sometimes when we look back at being angry, we tell a story about how angry we were. We kind of laugh because we were so silly we did some foolish things. The trick is trying to catch yourself in the moment doing that and realize, I'm being a fool here. Wait a minute. Come on, can we fix this? And get over it and get past it and get back to what is the real problem. Anger is all about problem. We want to talk about solution.
And the one that catches me there, you exaggerate a petty situation.
Yeah.
We all do that.
Sure. To get over it, I'm late, so what am I, I was late, so I had a chance to read the menu 40 times. You have, make some humor out of it, diffuse the situation instead of just see. No, it's fine, sit down, let's have lunch.
All right, they're giving me the wrap here. Hey, Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs was our sponsor today. We thank them for that. And we thank Peter Nazaretian. Thank you, as always.
John,
that was a very
a pleasure.
good
Thank
show.
you, and love the listeners. Great questions today. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for
and great graphics up there today. I love that. Good stuff. All right, thank you. 436-MeTV option 11 if you want to call in and leave a message. We'll see you back here Monday with a guy named Gary Hansen. Maybe you recognize the name. On the air, off the presses. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you on Monday.
Safety never felt so good as your very own affordable walk-in bathtub. The Central Valley's exclusive walk-in tub dealer. An affordable walk-in bathtub allows you to enjoy bathing again without the fear of falling. Tubs come in many sizes and all can be customized to meet specific needs. Boca tubs offer the lowest step-in possible. Ella features